child. The greatest mistake you are making in this waiting season is believing that my silence means I have forgotten you. You have been looking at the unanswered prayer. You have been looking at the closed door. You have been looking at how much time has passed. And because nothing seems to be changing, you have started to wonder whether I am still listening. You ask yourself, does God still see me? Did I do something wrong? Why is everyone else moving forward while I remain here? Listen to me carefully. I have not forgotten you. I have not lost sight of you. I have not abandoned the work I began in your life. You may not understand what I am doing, but your inability to see my hand does not mean my hand is absent. You may feel as though nothing is happening, but there are things taking place beyond what your eyes can see. There are things I am shaping within you. There are things I am protecting you from. There are things I am preparing you to carry. Stay here with me for a little while. Quiet the noise around you. Release the pressure to understand everything immediately. Today, I want to show you how to walk through this waiting season without losing your peace, your faith, or your sense of purpose. I know how tired you are, not only physically tired. I know the kind of exhaustion that sleep cannot remove. I know what it feels like when your body is resting, but your mind will not become quiet. I know about the questions that return in the middle of the night. I know about the conversations you replay. I know about the future you keep trying to predict. I know about the answer you have been waiting for. Perhaps you have been waiting for work. You have prepared. You have applied. You have tried to remain hopeful, but every rejection has made you question your value. Perhaps you have been waiting for healing. You have prayed for your body. You have prayed for your mind. You have prayed for a heart that no longer feels so heavy. Yet some days, the pain still returns. Perhaps you have been waiting for a relationship to be restored. You have apologized. You have tried to forgive. You have asked me to soften another person's heart, but the distance remains. Perhaps you have been waiting for someone to love you. You have watched other people begin new relationships, build families, and move into new seasons. You celebrate with them, but in the quiet, you wonder why your own prayer remains unanswered. Perhaps you have been waiting for direction. You are standing between what ended and what has not yet begun. I know how uncomfortable that place feels. I know how easily waiting can begin to feel like rejection, but my child, waiting is not the same as being rejected. Silence is not the same as abandonment. Delay is not proof that you are unloved. You have been measuring my faithfulness by the speed of my answer. But I am asking you to measure my faithfulness by my character. I am still good when the answer is delayed. I am still near when your emotions cannot feel me. I am still working when your circumstances appear unchanged. Do not be ashamed of your questions. Bring them to me. Do not hide your disappointment. Tell me where it hurts. You do not need to perform strength in my presence. You do not need to pretend that you are not tired. Come to me honestly. I am not frightened by your tears. I am not disappointed by your weakness. I am not turning away because your faith feels small today. Even a trembling hand can still reach for mine. The first thing I want you to do in this waiting season is remember, when you cannot understand what I am doing now, remember what I have already brought you through. Fear wants you to forget. Fear wants you to believe that this is the first time you have ever faced something difficult. Fear wants you to look at one unanswered prayer and conclude that your entire life has been abandoned. But look back. Remember the season you thought would break you. Remember the night you believed you could not survive. Remember the disappointment that once seemed impossible to overcome. You are still here. You may have scars, but you are still here. You may have changed, but you are still here. You may not have received everything you wanted, but you were given enough strength to continue. There were moments when you did not know where help would come from, yet help appeared. There were times when you felt completely alone, yet someone called, someone listened, someone stood beside you, or peace entered your heart when you needed it most. There were doors you cried over when they closed. Later, you began to understand that walking through them would have led you somewhere harmful. There were plans you believed you needed. When they failed, you thought your life was falling apart. But over time, you discovered that your life was being redirected. Not every difficult event was sent by me. People make choices. The world contains pain, injustice, sickness, and loss. But there has never been a moment when I stopped being present with you. I was there when you were afraid. I was there when you did not have the words to pray. I was there when all you could do was breathe and try to make it through another hour. You thought you were carrying yourself, but there were moments when I carried you in ways you did not recognize. Remember my words through the prophet Isaiah. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I did not promise that you would never walk through difficulty. I promised that you would not have to walk through it without me. My child, create a record of my faithfulness. Write down the small moments. Do not wait only for dramatic miracles. Remember the strength to rise from bed. Remember the meal that was provided. Remember the person who encouraged you. Remember the moment you chose not to give up. Remember the wisdom that helped you leave something unhealthy. Remember the peace that appeared, even if it stayed for only a few minutes. These moments are not meaningless. They are reminders. When your feelings say, God has never helped me, return to what you have written. When fear says, this will never change, remember how many times you once believed the same thing. When shame says, you are alone, remember every moment grace found you. Your feelings are real, but they are not always telling you the complete truth. A painful day can make your entire life look hopeless. One rejection can make every future opportunity seem impossible. One silent season can make you believe that I will never speak again. But one chapter cannot define your entire story. Look at the Israelites standing before the Red Sea. Behind them was danger. Before them was an impossible barrier. They could not see a path, but the absence of a visible path did not mean there was no path. The way became visible when it was time for them to move. Perhaps you are standing in front of something that feels impossible. You cannot see how the financial pressure will change. You cannot see how the relationship will heal. You cannot see how you will recover from what happened. You cannot see where the next opportunity will come from. You cannot see the path. But my child, not seeing the path is not the same as having no path. I am not asking you to understand the entire journey today. I am asking you to remember who is walking beside you. Take a slow breath. Remember one thing I have already brought you through. Stay with that memory for a moment. The God who was present then is present now. I have not changed, my child. Think about a seed before anyone sees its growth. It disappears beneath the soil. It is surrounded by darkness. It is pressed by the weight of the earth. From the surface, it appears that nothing is happening. A person may look at the ground day after day and say, the seed has failed. The seed is gone. The seed will never become anything, but beneath the surface, the seed is changing. The shell is breaking. Roots are forming. Life is developing in a place where no one can see it. The darkness is not proof that the seed has been forgotten. The hidden place is where the seed develops the roots it will need later. You have been calling this season a burial, but perhaps you are being planted. There is a difference. What is buried is considered finished. What is planted is placed somewhere with the expectation of growth. You may feel hidden. You may feel overlooked. You may feel as though everyone else is growing while your own life remains beneath the surface. But some of my deepest work happens in places where no one can applaud you. I work in private obedience. I work in ordinary mornings. I work in the decisions no one else notices. I work when you choose integrity even though it costs you. I work when you forgive even though the wound still hurts. I work when you return to prayer after disappointment. I work when you refuse to allow bitterness to become your identity. You keep asking me for visible growth, but I am also concerned about your roots. I care about the person you are becoming. I care about your character. I care about your ability to carry what you have requested without being controlled by it. Perhaps you have prayed for influence. But first, I am teaching you humility. Perhaps you have prayed for a relationship. But first, I am teaching you boundaries, wisdom, and the difference between love and emotional dependence. Perhaps you have prayed for financial increase. But first, I am teaching you stewardship and freedom from the belief that money determines your worth. Perhaps you have prayed for leadership. But first, I am teaching you how to serve when no one is watching. Do not despise the hidden work. Roots are not visible, but without roots, visible growth cannot survive. I am not promising that every desire will be answered in the exact form you imagine, but I am promising that no season spent walking with me must be wasted. Even here, you can grow. Even here, wisdom can be formed. Even here, your faith can become deeper than your circumstances. Even here, I am near. The second thing I want you to do is release. Release the timeline you have been holding so tightly. You say that you trust me, but often, beneath that trust, there is a deadline. You say, God, I trust you, but this must happen soon. I trust you, but I need this relationship to change before I can have peace. I trust you, but I have already decided how the answer should arrive. I trust you, but I cannot accept another year like this. My child, bring me your specific desires. Tell me what you want. Tell me what you hope for. Tell me what you fear. But do not confuse surrender with giving me instructions. You see one small part of the story. I see what came before you. I see what is happening around you. I see what is forming inside you. I see consequences that you cannot predict. I see motives you cannot examine. I see doors that appear beautiful, but lead somewhere painful. I also see paths you would never choose because they appear too ordinary, too slow, or too difficult. You want the full map often. I provide light for the next step. I ask you to walk faithfully through the day in front of you. Remember what I taught through Proverbs. Trust in me with all your heart. Do not depend only on your own understanding. Acknowledge me in your ways, and I will direct your path. The promise is direction. The promise is not that you will always receive a complete explanation. Releasing the timeline does not mean doing nothing. Trust is not passivity. You may still need to submit the application. You may still need to study. You may still need to apologize. You may still need to attend the appointment. You may still need professional help. You may still need to set a boundary. You may still need to leave something harmful. You may still need to make a difficult decision. Faithful action and surrender can exist together. Do what wisdom places in front of you. Then release the outcome you cannot control. Consider Joseph. I gave him dreams, but I did not immediately show him the road those dreams would require. He was falsely accused. He was imprisoned. He helped someone who later forgot him. For a long time, his circumstances did not resemble the promise. He could have assumed that his purpose had disappeared, but the hidden years were forming something within him. He was learning responsibility. He was developing discernment. He was gaining wisdom. He was learning how to lead. The prison did not look like preparation, but preparation does not always look meaningful while you are living through it. Joseph could not control the timeline, but he could choose who he became inside it. That is the choice before you. You may not control when the opportunity arrives, but you can prepare yourself. You may not control when another person changes, but you can become healthier. You may not control when the pain disappears, but you can ask for help and take the next responsible step. You may not control when your answer comes, but you can refuse to allow bitterness to rule the waiting. Open your hands. You have been holding the future so tightly that your soul has become exhausted. You keep believing that if you think about the problem long enough, you will gain control over it. But worry is not control. Worry is carrying tomorrow without receiving tomorrow's strength. Open your hands. Place the person in my hands. Place the opportunity in my hands. Place the opportunity in my hands. Place the unanswered question in my hands. Place the deadline in my hands. Say, God, this is what I desire, but I trust your wisdom more than my limited understanding. You may need to release it again tomorrow. That is all right. Surrender is sometimes a prayer you repeat every day. I am not asking you to stop caring. I am asking you to stop allowing the outcome to control your identity, your peace, and your relationship with me. You are still loved before the answer arrives. You still have purpose before the door opens. You still have value before anyone chooses you. You are still mine. My child, part of surrender is accepting that my answer may look different from what you imagined. Sometimes my answer is yes. Sometimes it is no. Sometimes it is not yet. Sometimes I change the circumstances. Sometimes I first change what the circumstances have been producing inside you. You ask me to remove the storm. Sometimes I first teach you how to stand while the wind is still blowing. You ask me to remove every difficult person. Sometimes I first teach you how to recognize unhealthy behavior and establish wise boundaries. You ask me for immediate success. Sometimes I first free you from the belief that achievement is the source of your worth. You ask me for certainty. Sometimes I invite you to trust me one day at a time. Do not misunderstand me. Not every painful thing was sent by me. I do not delight in betrayal. I do not delight in abuse. I do not delight in injustice, sickness, or loss. The world is wounded, and people make choices that cause real harm. But even inside circumstances I did not call good, I can remain present. I can give wisdom. I can give courage. I can bring safe people into your life. I can lead you away from danger. I can help you rebuild. I can prevent pain from having the final authority over your identity. When I said through Paul that all things can work together for good, I did not say that all things are good. Pain is pain. Loss is loss. Wrong is wrong. You do not need to pretend otherwise, but what happened to you does not have to decide who you will become. The rejection does not define you. The betrayal does not own you. The failure does not name you. The waiting does not mean your life has stopped. I can still meet you here. The third thing I want you to do is remain. Remain faithful in the small things while you wait for the large thing to change. You have been tempted to place your entire life on hold. You tell yourself, I will be grateful when the answer comes. I will have peace when everything becomes clear. I will serve when I feel stronger. I will begin living when the opportunity arrives. But my child, your life is happening now. This day is part of your story. This waiting season is not an empty space between two meaningful chapters. There is purpose available today. There is love you can give today. There is wisdom you can gain today. There is healing you can begin today. There is responsibility in front of you today. You do not need a large platform to encourage one person. You do not need a perfect future to practice gratitude. You do not need every question answered before taking care of your body and mind. You do not need to feel completely healed before choosing one healthy action. Ask me, what have you already placed in front of me? Perhaps it is your family. Perhaps it is your current work. Perhaps it is a skill you need to develop. Perhaps it is the appointment you have been avoiding. Perhaps it is a conversation you need to have. Perhaps it is the need to ask someone for help. Perhaps it is returning to Scripture, not to search for a quick prediction, but to know my character more deeply. Ask me, what can I learn here? You can learn patience without becoming passive. You can learn boundaries without becoming bitter. You can learn discipline without becoming harsh toward yourself. You can learn to recognize the difference between being alone and being abandoned. You can learn that your identity is deeper than your job, relationship status, income, or reputation. Ask me, who can I encourage while I wait? Pain often causes your world to become smaller. You begin looking only at what is missing. But sometimes, when you offer kindness to another person, you remember that your life still carries meaning. Send the message, make the call, listen to someone, pray for someone who is also struggling. Offer the compassion you once wished someone had offered you. Do not do these things to earn an answer from me. My love is not a reward you receive after performing enough good deeds. Remain faithful because you do not want waiting to make your heart smaller. Remain connected to healthy people. Do not isolate yourself and call it strength. Fear becomes louder in isolation. Find people who are wise, mature, compassionate, and honest. Speak with a trusted friend. Speak with a pastor. Speak with a counselor or qualified professional when the burden is becoming too heavy. Receiving help is not a failure of faith. I often care for people through other people. Remain in my word. Do not build your faith only on emotional messages. Emotions rise and fall. My word gives you a foundation. Read slowly. Listen carefully. Do not take every sentence you hear online as though it were a direct prophecy. Test what you hear against Scripture. Know my character. Learn how I treated the tired, the ashamed, the grieving, the rejected, and the lost. Remain honest in prayer. You do not need impressive language. You can say, God, I am still here. I do not understand, but give me wisdom for the next step. I am disappointed, but do not allow disappointment to harden my heart. That is faith. Faith is not always loud. Sometimes faith is simply returning to me one more time. My child, listen to me now. You are not forgotten. I see the season you are walking through. I see the questions you cannot explain to anyone else. I see how much strength it takes for you to continue when people around you do not know how tired you are. Your tears are not invisible. Your prayers are not meaningless. Your life has not moved beyond my care. Do not measure my presence only by what you can see. A silent room does not mean I am absent. A delayed answer does not mean you are unloved. A closed door does not determine your value. Someone else's progress does not mean you have been left behind. Come close to me again. Bring me your disappointment. Bring me your anger. Bring me your fear. Bring me the future you have been afraid to release. You do not need to hide any part of your heart. I already know, and I am still inviting you closer. I am not asking you to understand the whole road. I am asking you to walk with me through the next step. When you are weak, ask me for strength for today. When you are confused, ask me for wisdom for today. When you are overwhelmed, return to the grace available today. Do not carry your entire future in this single moment. Tomorrow does not need to be solved tonight. You are not alone in this waiting season. I am near to the brokenhearted. I remain faithful when your emotions rise and fall. I have not forgotten your name. I have not abandoned your story. Continue walking. Continue seeking. Continue trusting. Even here, your roots can grow. Even here, wisdom can be formed. Even here, healing can begin. Even here, peace can return. Remember what I have already done. Release what you cannot control. Remain faithful in what is in front of you. You do not need strength for the entire journey today. You need enough grace for the next step. And when the next step comes, I will meet you there, my child. Be still for a moment. Let your shoulders relax. Take a slow breath. You have been carrying too much for too long. Place your burden in my hands. I see the work you need. I see the healing you desire. I see the person you are praying for. I see the decision you must make. I see the future that frightens you. I see every part of it. Ask me for wisdom. Ask me for courage. Ask me to lead you towards safe people and wise decisions. Ask me to show you what belongs in your hands and what must be released into mine. I will not shame you for being tired. I will not reject you because you have questions. Come as you are. Let my presence become more important than having every answer immediately. May peace begin to enter the places where fear has been living. May your mind become quieter. May your heart become softer without becoming unprotected. May you receive courage to take the next responsible step. May you stop comparing your timeline to the lives of others. May you remember that your value does not rise when people applaud you, and does not disappear when they overlook you. You are not defined by the door that closed. You are not defined by the person who left. You are not defined by the mistake you regret. You are not defined by how long you have been waiting. Return to me, walk with me today. That is enough for this moment. And this waiting season does not have the final word. If this message spoke to your heart, write these 3 words in the comments. Remember, release, remain. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more daily, scripture-inspired messages of faith, healing, hope, and encouragement. May God give you peace in the waiting, strength for today, and courage for your next step.